Game week 4, match week 4, whatever you want to call it, is in the books. James, I made complaints quite a lot of the time that I think that we need to start getting up to 6s and 7s because we've been hitting 500, 4s, not ideal, right? We really need to up our game a little bit. And obviously, the previous week we were at the 4s, 6s this week. Tied again. So I don't know how many weeks in a row that is where we've kind of tied. Not on all the same games, though. Obviously, this is, I think, the beauty of it. Obviously, we'll disagree, but then it will even out. So we both went 6 and 4 this week. That's more, I think, our level. We need to be above 500. I think should be our score. Unfortunately, though, still leaves me in the lead by a slender 1 point. I am 19 and 21. James is 18 and 22 going into game week 5. And yeah, James, let's just get into it. I mean, midweek games would enough. Palace at home against Brentford. I'm happy to kind of kick us off here. I got this 2-2. Palace are kind of like one of these in-form football teams. I don't know what else to say. I've mentioned about how great a job Patrick Vieira's done so far. To me, this is a leading candidate for Coach of the Year with what he's been able to achieve so far. The team's playing very, very well. And same with Brentford. Brentford are like a really, really nice outfit. I can't underestimate, the reason why I've picked a draw, I can't underestimate the beaten City 2-0, conceding 4 goals. That's an emotional hit. I mean, it's Manchester City. I don't know if they thought that they deserved to win the game or anything like that, but when you got a 2-0 lead to then concede 4 goals and lose the game quite handedly in the end, it's a bit of a shame. So I got that one 2-2. What have you got for Palace, Brentford?
Again, Palace... when I predicted Palace to beat City, when I seen the 2-0, I was like, yes, got it right. And then Man City just hit us with the 4. But Palace are a tough team to beat. This is a very, very difficult game to predict, but hopefully Wilfried Zaha is going to be back. Jack, I'm going to say this is going to be 2-1 Crystal Palace.
Ooh, nice. Okay, I like it. I'm not going to lie, I'm scared of that pick. I'm scared that I'm already down by 1 because I like your pick, but I've just got a gut feel that might be a 2-2. Next up, James, I'll get you to go again. Fulham are at home against Brighton and Hove Albion. Again, another team, Brighton and Hove Albion. Graham Potter may be looking at Coach of the Year at the moment. Who have you got in that one?
You mentioned Coach of the Year. If anybody has a great chance, it's Graham Potter. Like, Jack, the run they've been on has been spectacular. I think, what are they? I don't want to mention the league, but they've won like 2-3 games so far. Head-to-head doesn't really give me much, but the way Brighton are at this moment in time, they've already been to London this year and won. Fulham impressed me massively against Arsenal. Jack, I'm going to say... I think this is going to be a draw, so let's go 1-1.
1-1, nice. Okay, good. I feel a little better about that because I'm taking Brighton. I'm going to take the informed team there. Not to say Fulham aren't in form. I've got 2-1 though, so I wonder if we've traded results there for our first and second game week. Southampton at home against Chelsea. That Chelsea victory after going down to 10 men shows a lot of character in that squad. That was an incredibly important victory for Chelsea Football Club. Southampton, again, I believe this team are similar to Bournemouth as well. Sadly, my South Coast brethren. I think there's a lot of teams that are going to be relegated, and I think Saints will be one of them. And I just can continue to collapse. I've got Chelsea winning that one 2-0 at St Mary's. So who have you got?
To be fair, Southampton played really well in Manchester United. They're very unfortunate not to get something out of that game with the chances that they created. But Chelsea, on the other hand, again, a gutsy performance by them after going a man down. Last season, Jack, it was 6-0 to Chelsea. Maybe that might change, and maybe that might give Chelsea a bit of momentum, bit of favoritism going into the game. I'm going to say, Jack, 2-0 Chelsea.
No, I'm with you on that. James, I'm going to get you to go again here, mate. Leeds United at home against Everton. This, to me, is a relatively tricky game to call because we keep using the cliche, this team needs a win, or this team needs, this team can't lose this game, all this kind of stuff. I feel like Everton are in that place. Who have you got Leeds against Everton?
Jack, this is a tough one because it's bound to come at some point. The win's bound to come at some point for Everton team, but it hasn't been horrible, Jack. It's not like they've lost every single game so far. They have games where they've come back and like showed grit, and then there's games where they let slip after taking the lead. I'm gonna go for a Leeds victory, Jack.
Okay.
I'm going to say 2-1 Leeds.
2-1. Look, James, I'm going 2-0. I'm not gonna lie. I hate to say this. I've got a kind of a sneaky feeling here that both Gerrard and Lampard might be for the chop here pretty soon. Unfortunately, Anthony Gordon. Again, shown some positives, I guess you'd say, maybe. Obviously all this interest from Chelsea as well. But no, I've got Leeds winning that one as well, 2-0. I think there's some positivity there, and I'll be first to put my hand up and say I think I was wrong about Jesse Marsch. From what I've seen so far, it seems to be working, and this new breath of fresh air from a non-Marcelo Bielsa voice in that dressing room seems to be working wonders. Moving on, Bournemouth are at home against Wolverhampton Wanderers. 1-0 Wolves. This Bournemouth team took an absolute hammering at Liverpool. Now, again, I'm a little scared that they might fight for their pride back at home. A beatable opponent, especially compared to playing a team like Liverpool. But I do just think that Wolverhampton Wanderers, it's been a nice transfer window. They've got some serious kind of players in there now. I still think they need to figure out that striker position. But for me, Wolves 1-0 against Bournemouth. Who have you got in that one?
Watching the way Scotty Parker was like at Anfield, I felt really, really sorry for him, Jack, because at the end of the day, I think he's been put in a situation that even he knows that he's not, I won't say he's not ready for it, because I think he's a Premier League star coach, but he doesn't have the squad for it. He might as well just say, guys, let's go back to Champions League and just try to enjoy getting back up again. But again, Jack, I have to agree with you in the situation. I'm going to say 1-0 Wolves. I want to say Bournemouth are going to bounce back, but this team just seems destined to go down. So just 1-0 Wolves, Jack.
Well, again, it's fascinating, and obviously a conversation for another day, but fascinating. You see what Nottingham Forest do, signing 27 million new players and really trying to make a push to stay in the league. And then you got Bournemouth, who it's like, if we stay up, great. If not, we'll just try and get back there another year. Fascinating ways of approaching developing a football club. Man City at home against Forest. Man City 4-1. Again, can I see them conceding an early goal? Sure. Can I see Erling Haaland scoring a hat-trick and De Bruyne scoring a goal outside the box? Yes. This is the best team in the league. For my money, it's very, very early, but this is the best team in the world, best team in the league by a mile, I would say. 4-1 Manchester City. Who have you got at the Etihad, James?
I'm going to say, again, 3-0 Man City. It's more or less just picking how many goals City are going to score more than anything else, to be fair. Nottingham Forest did well against Tottenham, created some decent half chances, and maybe probably should have got an equaliser. But going again away to the Etihad, it's tough already. I think it was Middlesbrough that got a draw in the FA Cup. But yeah, let's just say 3-0 Man City.
Yeah. James, your guys, powering strong. The Gabriel Jesus train keeps chugging along. So do the rest of the guys in red and white in for Arsenal. Villa coming to town, desperate for a win, as we keep saying, right? So again, who have you got? Have you got you guys keeping on going here?
It's getting uncomfortable with the Steven Gerrard train at Aston Villa. It's a weird one, because a few years ago, or probably even last season, I would have said, when you're down in the dumps, just play at Arsenal and they will deliver for you. They will give you whatever. I don't know how many records Arsenal shattered. Oh, a team haven't won a game in 10, they play Arsenal win. So many times under Mikel Arteta. We've seen so many of them. This feels a little bit different. First time I've seen Arsenal win 4 games in a row in the Premier League for the start. I'm going to say 5, and I'm going to say 5, Jack, which is, to me, going to be impressive. I'm going to say 3-1 Arsenal.
I got the exact same score. Look, James, I have seen nothing yet that a lesser team will be able to get a draw or win, let alone win against Arsenal at the moment. Whether that's at home, let alone it being away, but whether that's at home as well. So for me, like I say, my big test as to whether I think Arsenal are real contenders or fakers is going to be when they do play one of the big 6, one of these bigger kind of teams. We'll see how they do. But yeah, for lesser teams, I'm always going to be backing Arsenal with the way they're playing at the moment. I see no reason to think otherwise. West Ham at home against Spurs. Again, I think I was pretty spot on with my analysis for the Forest game, the Spurs Forest game. You know, it's not the kind of like attacking sense that I thought it would be across the board. And I think Conte is really kind of grinding out the results as opposed to the attractive football. So again, I think a more competitive game. I'm going to say 2-1 to Spurs in East London. James, who have you got? West Ham versus Spurs.
I'm going to say West Ham victory. I'm going to say West Ham. Let's flip it. Let's go 2-1 West Ham. West Ham have a decent record against Tottenham. To be fair, I remember last season against them away from home, it was 3-1, but like everyone needed to bear in mind the fact that West Ham were going through that crazy Europa League run, and they had to, rest some players, and like just a psychological part of that too, thinking about that game. And to be fair, looking at the last few games, they've had a decent record against Tottenham. So Jack, I'm going to say let's say a West Ham victory.
Nice, I respect it. I was going to say we had some similar results, kind of on a little bit of a roll there. So I'm glad to see that a bit different. James, going to Anfield and coming to town on Newcastle with the private investment fund from Saudi Arabia funding everything, and all these new signings and all this positivity. But obviously, you got a team like Liverpool who are laying waste to teams with 9-0 victories. So who have you got? Liverpool versus Newcastle.
To me, Jack, the perfect game for Liverpool playing against a team that everybody predicted to be bottom of the table.
Right.
So let's see what it's like in this game. I feel like this is just a whole different ball game for them. Hopefully, say Maximin's fit. I seen him holding his hamstring against Wolves.
Oh, I've got a tingling sensation. I think James is going to call it upset.
I can't see Newcastle dropping points. I can't see Newcastle not getting something out of this. I'm going to think this is going to be a draw. Let's go 1-0.
Okay. Alexander Isak's a wild card for sure. What's fascinating is Callum Wilson's obviously still there, and Callum Wilson's still really good. So you're not going to drop Callum Wilson. So I'm more inclined to now think that they're going to kind of have a 2-striker, maybe a 4-4-2 type thing going on. I don't know what Eddie Howe's trying to cook up over there, but I know he has the squad now to cook up whatever he damn well pleases. Like I say, Alexander Isak's a game changer. We know what he's capable of physically, like with Callum Wilson. So they'll be able to get after this Liverpool team. But James, that 9-0 win, some Liverpool players I think needed a bit of a massage to their ego, a little bit of a boost, a little bit of confidence boost, and I think that maybe they'll just kick on now, and we'll start seeing Liverpool get kind of Man City level results. So I'm going to go 4-1 Liverpool. Again, I don't feel super confident about it, but I think that Bournemouth game will have had a serious mental impact. Final game of the match week for this midweek round of games. Leicester City are at home against Manchester United. Wesley Fofana freshly gone to Chelsea. 2-1 Man United. I think, to a certain extent, maybe even a carbon copy of the Southampton game. I think that Manchester United won't be convincing. I don't think they'll necessarily be deserving of the victory, but kind of some way, somehow, I still think Bruno Fernandes will stick around as captain. We'll see Lisandro Martinez and Rafael Varane, unless there's any squad rotation still going there. And I just think that, United score first, the home team score, United score a late one, and we kind of call it, it's still 3 points, but it's not convincing. So 2-1 Man United. Who have you got in that one, James?
Again, Leicester City this year feels very odd, because they have, to me, one of been the best teams in the Premier League for the past 5 to 6 years.
Deflating, isn't it? It's disappointing.
It is. Yeah. Like what goes on for them. It feels like the first time in the world, the owners don't seem to care as much, and to a certain point, does the manager, put in the same. And I'm not saying Brendan Rodgers is a great manager, but I'm going to say Manchester United 3-1. They're going to ride this way that they've had after that Liverpool game. I don't think that there's going to be any changes. I wonder what's going to go on. I'm not really bothered about, for instance, Harry Maguire. Maybe what's going to happen with Cristiano Ronaldo. And to me, is at some point he wants to get in the act and get some goals to give himself a bit of confidence. So I'm going to say 3-1. I'm going to say 3-1 1 Manchester United.
And obviously Anthony has signed. You know, that's something I guess we can maybe react to here a little later on. But yeah, no, lots of change where Manchester United is concerned. Guys at home, we just hit, James and I both hit a 6-4 game week. That should be the standard. We both need to break 500 at the moment. I'm sitting at 19-21. James is sitting at 18-22. I have still that very slender 1 point lead, but we're trying to get more correct than incorrect. That's going to make me feel a hell of a lot better, I'll tell you that. Guys, please make sure, scroll down, like the video. Also put your predictions in there. We'd love to see what you guys think. And also, you know, if you can have a better week than us, because so far we've not really covered ourselves in glory. Scroll down as well. Please make sure you subscribe. The way the algorithm works, a lot of the time that you can get our videos just because you've been watching them, but you may not be subscribed. So do just double check, ring the bell as well if you want notifications. James, anything else from you, mate?
Guys, let us know what you guys want us to react to next, or even predict. Just comment down below and give your predictions for the Premier League for match week 5, and obviously hit that subscribe button. Really, really important. Road to 1,000. Let's get it done, guys. And we'll see you
next time.
Next time.